Hi, I'm Stefano and this is an annex video to the Ploc series about video compression for real-time use. If you don't know what the Ploc series is and you want to know about it, the link is in the description. Check it out, okay? So we talk about how to export your video so that we can use it with our real-time interactive experiments so that it is not so heavy for your computer to process in real time. Cool? This video is not about video editing and various methods of edit your videos for interactivity, okay? So for that, I'm gonna have another annex video, okay? So if you're interested in that, there might be another link in the description. Check it out. We talk about compression. Why do we do that? We do that because of this. Check. I have this little Max patch. It uses the snippets that you should already know. I have this video here. I am getting the movement amount from the camera and tracking where this movement is happening. So now the movement is these white pixels and I'm tracking the white pixels and I can understand where I am positioned in my camera, right or left. I can also do up and down, but now we are doing right or left. Dependently from where I am positioned in the camera, I am moving through the timeline of the loaded video, these clouds. So we are scrubbing through the timeline with our right and left movement. What do we have now? Let's say I load a video. There is a video that is compressed in H.264. What is H.264? H.264 is like one of the most common ways of compressing a video because it occupies very little space on your disk. So it's nice for, uploading it on YouTube or storing it somewhere, giving it to somebody else. This is very, 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 very common and it is very compressed. What does it mean? When something is very compressed, it occupies little space, but also your computer needs to spend more time to decompress it, okay? So let's try this experiment. I'm gonna load this. It's the same exact video, just exported with a different codec. Now, look what happened. When I go right and left, you see the stuttering. It stutters. Why does it stutter? Because the computer makes an effort to decode the video. I have a pretty good computer and still not easy. This is a video also that it's like, it's not the shortest thing ever. There is a lot of frames, okay? It's 35 seconds. And I'm not sure, maybe it's 60 frames per second, I'm not sure. But there is a lot of stuff to decode from the disk, okay? Now, we saw that this H.264 is not really behaving nicely in real time in our Max patch. For testing purposes, I'm gonna click this magic button, which will tell my video engine in Max to not sync to the refresh rate of my screen, but to try to go to 120 frames per second. So I want to see how fast my Max patch can go so that I can measure a little bit the different performances that the different video codecs can give us, okay? So we have this H.264. Look at this. If I'm standing still, my Max patch is not really doing much work, so it's not really reading many frames. But if I move, it syncs to, look, sometimes even 20 frames per second. Yeah, so you see, not good, stuttery, doesn't look great. Let's load another kind of codec. I have the same video here exported in different codecs. The main one that I would always use is HAP or HAP. Here I have the same video exported in HAP. I'm gonna drag and drop it. So I'm loading that specific file right now. It looks the same, but look when I move, very, very fluent. Look at the frame rate here, 100, 110. And if I move, maybe it drops to 90. 90 frames per second is still pretty damn fast. So, cool. If, for any reason, you don't want to export in HAP, because, I don't know, maybe you are in Adobe and you want to stay in Adobe, you don't want to, whatever. You have your video editing tool and you just want to export something decent. Do not export it in H.264. There are two other alternatives. I would say if you are on Windows, you could use the codec DNxHR. Let's give it a try. I'm gonna drop it and load it. Looks the same. How does it perform? Not as good as HAP, but still pretty good. It looks fluid. Frame rates, it's around 70, 80, 90 frames per second. Pretty cool. If you are on Mac and also for some silly reason you don't want to use HAP, you can use Apple ProRes. This is export in Apple ProRes, drag and drop it, and it looks the same and it performs kind of like DNxHR. Okay? So Apple ProRes is more Mac friendly, DNxHR it's more Windows friendly, I would say. But these are two other options in case you don't want to use or you can't use HAP. Still, HAP is way, way faster, okay? So think about it. Now, if you know how to edit videos, maybe you already have your tool, maybe you use DaVinci Resolve, maybe you use Adobe Premiere, maybe you use Final Cut, whatever. So you know what we are talking about. If you are a little bit out of this field, you might think, okay, but how do I do this? How do I re-export a video which is maybe in H.264 into a codec that is one of these three? Well, there is a tool that I'm going to show you, which is free. It's called Shutter Encoder. You can just download it. You just go on its website. It's shutterencoder.com. Shutter Encoder. Voila. Here it is. This is the website. Click on downloads. Give a check that you select the right version for your computer. So for example, for Mac, be aware, do you have an Intel Mac or do you have an Apple Silicon Mac? I have an Apple Silicon. Now, you click on that, you're gonna get to this page. It looks like you have to pay for that, but did you see what happened here? The software or the installer is already downloaded. So this is an optional page if you want to donate to the lonely developer, which is making this gigantic effort of giving us this software. But you don't have to. When you arrive to this page, the software is already downloading, okay? So here it is. It's a normal installer. Install it and have it. Voila. How does the software look? Let me open it. Shutter Encoder. Here we are. This is it. Now, how do we use it? Let's say this is my video. It's a H.264. Let's not care about these. I want to re-export this video. I'm going to drag and drop it in this big field. Voila. Choose function. Here in this menu, you can choose the codec that you want to export your video. We have under editing codecs, we have those two that I talked about before, DNxHR or Apple ProRes. But we don't want to do those. We want to do HAP. You find HAP under broadcast codecs. This is our best option. When you click it, you see a little preview of your video. In this software, beside being able to re-export your videos, you can also do quite a lot of little things on the side. So if you feel like exploring, do explore. You can even trim your video end and your video beginning. We will not talk about that now. We will only talk about how to export it, okay? So we chose HAP in the function. You see here, there is another menu. In here, you find different flavors of HAP. For example, I will stay with standard, but if you want, there is also an alpha version, if you need transparency in your video, or the Q, which is a higher quality codec. Once we're done with that, we can start function. But before doing that, I often do this. I click add a suffix. When you click it on, you will add to the name of the file, of the exported file, this whatever text, which automatically is set to codec and the flavor of it, which is very comfortable. I'm gonna keep this like this and just press start function. Now, usually the video is just going in the same place where your source video is. So mine is going in the desktop. And here we have it. So now, just as a test, I'm gonna upload this one and just be sure that everything performs nicely. And it does. Voila! That's it about video compression for real-time use. You're very welcome to check the whole Ploc series if you're interested. Have fun, and till next time. Ciao!